And now, welcome to Chai with Manju, with your host, Dr. Manju Sheth.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Chai with Manju called COVID Diaries. This pandemic has affected all of us differently. As Indian Americans with strong roots in India and family connections, however, we've all been affected by constantly changing travel guidelines and other restrictions. So on that note, we are honored today to have with us Mr. Sandeep Chakravorty. He's the Consul General of India in New York. Let's meet him and get some insights from him today. So, Sandeep ji, welcome to the show. We are so glad to have you with us. Namaste.
Namaste. I'm also very happy to be on your show.
So, you've had such an interesting life. You joined Indian Foreign Service in 1996, and then you were the ambassador of India to Peru and Bolivia before coming on to your current job. And I was reading an interview that you did that time, that even though the job description comes with a script, everybody is different, and your mission was to keep more like an open door policy. So tell me if you have been successful in doing that.
It's a very interesting question, and whether I have been successful or not, वो तो हमारे दोस्त मतलब clients या जिनको हम देते हैं वो बताएंगे. लेकिन अगर आप बस मेरे से पूछें तो मुझे तो लगता है I have been successful because I tried to reach out to people. Outreach हम लोग का काफी strong रहा है, and उस outreach रखने के वजह से जब ये COVID का lockdown हुआ, we were not so badly affected because we had the systems in place where we could build and work on those relationships. वो दो तरीके से, एक तो हमारी technological platforms हमारे पास तैयार थी, social media platforms, हमारे काफी website, हमारे web applications, वो हमने खूब use करा. Secondly, हमारे जो networks थी community के साथ different states में, हमारे 10 states हैं, उनको हमने खूब अच्छे से use कर पाए. इसलिए हम लोग more than we expected, we were able to support people in need.
I think this has been the consulate that has been most accessible even prior to COVID. Ever since you came on, we felt that, a little bit of fear has gone. We used to, now we can call you. You are also on Facebook, Twitter. We hear from you. So it's definitely, we see a big change as a community.
I think there is change all over, and I think the change that has happened in our leadership, and the leadership has guided us. And our leaders are themselves very, very accessible and they talk to people. So that had to come down to our level also. And I think I've been able to do that. And of course, more is always better. जो हम कर रहे हैं उससे भी ज़्यादा कर सकें तो अच्छा रहेगा. लेकिन हम ये कह सकते हैं with satisfaction that it's not that only a few people who had contacts can reach. ऐसा नहीं है. It is available and accessible to all. And you try us, and I don't think we will disappoint you.
Right. And COVID has been compared to war against an invisible enemy, and you are certainly, a leader in a war zone, in a war against COVID. Are there any specific steps that you've taken at the consulate level to be more approachable, just so that people have a COVID? I think you have a COVID helpline there as well, right?
Yeah, it's a very important question. देखिए, we are in New York, and we have a big staff, and the biggest concern we had was कि हमारे बीच में COVID ना हो जाए, because if we are not healthy, how will we serve others? So that was the primary consideration. So we immediately, as soon as we heard about, ये तो एकदम से आया ना, ये तो it was a sabotage attack or किस तरीके से we were all attacked overnight, and almost हमें पता भी नहीं चला और अचानक ये हुआ. So we immediately took measures. We started working from home, and bare minimum जो staff चाहिए था उनको आना हुआ. उसके बावजूद भी COVID हुआ, हमारे लोगों को, हमारे staff बीमार हुए, and the health facilities in New York was not able to respond to the needs of the people. It was just not because they're good or bad, because just the numbers were too much. And our people, we have had COVID survivors amongst us. Some were very bad, but we supported them, and we worked with people. एक तो motivation की बहुत ज़रूरत होती है, so we used to make sure people are in touch with each other, call them on Zoom, call them, find out कैसे हैं, ठीक है, ये हैं, बात करो, प्राणायाम करो, breathing exercise करो. तो हम लोगों ने काफ़ी अपने staff में motivational चीजें करी. उस वजह से we don't have any casualty that way. And luckily, I think now the worst is over in New York.
Right.
बात मैं कहना चाहूँगा मंजू, डॉक्टर मंजू, is that इंडियंस ना डबली अफेक्टेड हैं. यहाँ पे तो खराब हालत था ही. हम इंडिया के बारे में भी हर समय हम सोचते हैं, हमारे फैमिलीज, फ्रेंड्स, एक इमोशनल कनेक्ट इंडियन अमेरिकन का बहुत स्ट्रांग है इंडिया के साथ. तो एक वो भी दिमाग में चलता है हम लोगों का. एंड यू नो, वी आर वरीड अबाउट द सिचुएशन हियर, वरीड अबाउट सिचुएशन इन इंडिया. So I think that way our community, whether in Boston or in Ohio or wherever, are doubly affected. Or then people got stranded, you know, prescriptions खत्म हो गए, parents अटक गए, spouses अटक गए. वो भी हमने एक, in fact, one not so much known story is the prescription support that we gave from this consulate to people all over the United States. We were perhaps one of the few offices which were able to help people with prescription. हम लोगों ने डॉक्टर्स का पैनल बनाया और हमारे वेबसाइट पे एक आइकॉन बना के लोगों को वहाँ डायरेक्ट किया. एंड देन आवर कम्युनिटी डॉक्टर्स हेल्प्ड अ लॉट. They would do telemedicine and then prescribe medicine to the pharmacists. So that is one service which we did in a big way.
That is amazing. That is amazing. That brings me to one of the questions that I think every Indian citizen wants to know about, the OCI card, you know, because usme what are the restrictions there, and if we, as the travel opens up finally, what are we supposed to do before we go? What is the latest update on that?
हाँ, ये बहुत अच्छा relevant question है, and I will answer it in some detail. One is that, you know, we had suspended OCI services in the consulate क्योंकि capacity नहीं थी. किस तरीके से लोग आ ही नहीं रहे थे, तो हर काम मतलब from home तो होता नहीं है ना. There are some things which are done in the office. So we have now restarted our OCI operations, but what we are doing is we are doing everything by post. So walk-in नहीं है. आप फॉर्म्स भर के बाय डाक, बाय पोस्ट हमें भेज दीजिए, हम उसको प्रोसेस करके आपको बाय डाक भेज देंगे. तो OCI प्रोसेस हैव नॉर्मलाइज्ड. इमरजेंसी पासपोर्ट्स भी हम लोग नॉर्मलाइज किए, जिनके पासपोर्ट्स एक्सपायर कर रही हैं विद इन द नेक्स्ट 2 months. They can apply again by post, and we will make the passport and send it to by post. So that around takes a little bit of time. Then miscellaneous services भी हम लोग by post कर रहे हैं. So our services are more or less working. Only visas remain suspended because foreigners का भी इंडिया में travel करना मना है. एक तो बात ये हो गई. Second point is that you know, government has allowed people with OCI to travel to India on emergencies in 4 categories. One are, of course, you know, minors. You know, parents are Indians, children are minors, are OCI card holders. Second is emergency, family emergency, particularly death cases or health cases. Third is spouses who are separated, like spouse lives in India and the spouse came here, or she or he is an OCI card holder. They're stranded to wo. And fourth are students, the OCI card holder students, या उनका college खत्म हो गया या ये, they can go back. So that is the second point. Third is that OCI renewal जो cases थी, that was up to 30th June. Now that has been extended up to 31st of December. So people who were worried about renewing their OCI because of change of passport, they can now breathe easy and take time and renew it till 31st December. But people hearing me here on this show, I strongly recommend कि आप अपने passport अगर आपने change करा है, तो आप अपना OCI को renew कर लीजिए. It will happen 2 days, and then you can be ready, and whenever travel opens up, you can then go to India.
So how many days it takes, you said, right now to renew OCI card? How many days the process takes now?
देखिए, जब by normal process में 2-3 दिन में करते थे. अभी डाक services are actually disrupted. Even FedEx and all take a lot of time to deliver. So it's only the travel, the postal time which is, हम लोग तो यहाँ 1-2 दिन में कर देते हैं. So maybe if you send it from Boston, you will get it back in 10 days because travel on post may delay.
That's not bad. And I also saw that one of the nice things you did was, जो यहाँ पे students stranded हो गए हैं, आपने अपील किया कि if people can help out by, you know, having them stay with them for a few days, things like that. You've done a lot of outreach in the community as well. right?
Yes, yes, I think it's a very important point, and I want to salute the contribution of our community members. You know, you're based in Boston, Indian Association of Greater Boston, then
Right.
Team 8. These people have really, people have died during this time, and some of our particular Team 8 has helped in cremation and
Right.
funeral, funeral of people who have died because, इस time पे सब कुछ काफी दिक्कत से हो रहा था. And then people have given shelter, people have helped in getting jobs. And I have interacted with all our community members over Zoom and trying to, understand what is needed. They have done basically 2 or 3 things. One is they spread awareness about COVID. Secondly, they have helped Indian nationals who are stranded here. Thirdly, they have supported the community as such. For instance, Americans हैं जो यहाँ पे meal supply करी है, PPE doctors को supply करी है, घर घर जाके उन्होंने सामान दिया है, grocery support की है. So all kinds of stories are there, and I think that's something very, very creditable that in this moment of crisis, the Indian American community has been in the front line. They have doctors, आप जैसे लोग तो हैं ही, doctors, nurses, वो लोग तो हैं ही हैं, but even community की तरफ से भी काफी support आया है.
It's come together and risen to the occasion. One question that I really wanted to ask you, आपने इतना achieve किया है last 2 years since you started. What do you think is going to be your biggest legacy?
देखिए, Dr. Manju, I built on the work of my predecessors. So they built the basement and the first ground floor, and I maybe made the second floor, and my successor will make it even more beautiful. So I think one issue which people always complained was that people felt that the consulate is apart. एक अजीब सा hesitation, या आप डर की बात करते हैं, डर तो मैं नहीं कहूँगी, एक hesitation था. I think अगर मैं उस hesitation को दूर कर सका हूँ, जो मैं मानता हूँ मैंने किया है, I think that will be my legacy, in the sense that people feel that it's a friendly place and people can approach us. Also, I have been able to work with organizations. And मैंने कई सारे इनिशिएटिव लिए, जैसे कॉन्सुलेट एट योर डोर स्टेप. अभी हमने शुरू किया था इस साल, चलो कॉन्सुलेट, कि हम क्यों आपके पास आएंगे, आप हमारे यहाँ आइए. So we hosted community groups and they came here, they sat with us, they understood what we do. Then हम लोगों ने पिकनिक टाइप किया, then उन्होंने कल्चरल प्रेजेंटेशन हमको दिखाया, अपने हमने उनको कल्चरल प्रेजेंटेशन करके दिया. So basically, I've been trying to find new ways and means of connecting with the community. Then अभी कोविड के चलते हम लोगों ने फेसबुक पे बहुत इवेंट्स करे, and there the talent has come from the community. मैं कोई भारत से तो नहीं लाया, या मैंने किसी और रीजन से नहीं. So people have come up with ideas. Somebody said I can do a dance show, somebody said I can do cooking.
Yes, I saw that.
Tomorrow, for instance, we are having these आपको जान के खुशी होगी कि we started doing this first ever international diaspora online theatre festival हमने करा last month.
Very nice.
In English, and इतना सक्सेसफुल हुआ, इतने हजारों लोगों ने देखा, and इंडिया में भी and दूसरे कंट्रीज में भी. तो उसका जो सेकंड वर्जन है वो कल होने वाला है हमारे फेसबुक पेज पे, वो है वाइब्रेशंस, एंड इसमें हम लोग रीजनल थिएटर कर रहे हैं. टुमारो वी हैव हिंदी प्ले and one Bangla play. The next week we have a Marathi and a Gujarati. So my aspiration is to do plays of all the Indian languages on this platform. तो ये आइडियाज भी अपने नहीं है, कुछ ओरिजिनल नहीं है, लोगों ने बातचीत से निकला, फिर उन्होंने कहा क्यों नहीं करते, हमने कैसे करते हैं. तो इस तरह के इवेंट्स हम लोग कर रहे हैं, एंड आई थिंक that is because there's so much in the community, there's so much of talent and strength. If I'm able to harness that, I think then I'm successful.
And संदीप जी, लेकिन लगता है अभी आपका काम वैसे यहाँ खत्म हुआ नहीं है, तो आप अपना थोड़ा सोचिए कि कैसे कुछ एक्सटेंड करने का कभी सोचते हैं यहाँ पे.
ये आपने बड़ी सेंसिटिव बात उठा ली, because I think
कोविड की वजह
I've been
से
here for 3 years, and I think it's time for me to go back to India. But I have very, very fond memories of New York and my work, and I'll be in connection. But मैं ये कहूँगा कि I'm sure, and I'm very confident my successor will go much beyond what I have done. But this COVID has set a new normal.
Yes.
So we have to get quickly to adjust to this normal, and we cannot say कि हम stay at home है, lockdown में तो हम काम नहीं करेंगे. I think we have to find new ways and means of working.
So आपने कुछ कोविड में कुछ नया सीखा, कोई नई हॉबी, कुछ नया, something new that you learned in this COVID time? I saw some cooking pictures on your Facebook page.
नहीं, ये सब लोग कह रहे हैं, but yeah, I think I tried and tried some experimentation and succeed हो गया. So then my family said, why don't you photo document or video document it? तो मैंने कुछ अपनी स्टाइल में cookies बनाए थे. So I actually made them for my staff who were working, during this time. And then I am very happy that many people made those cookies and send me pictures. In fact, Vandana ji from Boston, she said she made those cookies, or her husband made those cookies, and she sent me pictures. So I was very happy with that. I think उससे सबसे ज़्यादा खुशी मिली, rather than making them myself. Yeah.
जिससे आपसे बात करके बहुत मजा आया, लगता है अभी तो बातें शुरू ही हैं. So I hope that you come back and chat with us. आपकी life मुझे बहुत fascinating लगी when I was doing the research. But ये COVID का वक्त गुजर जाने दीजिए and फिर मुलाकात होगी. So till we meet you, please drink your chai. It's good for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wonderful to be on your show, Dr. Manju.
Thank you. Thank you so much.